next news. Breaking news from the White House.
President Trump just delivered a direct and devastating rejection of Iran's latest offer. He called their response unacceptable and left the proposed ceasefire on life support. This is not diplomatic posturing. This is the commander-in-chief drawing a hard line after reviewing a document so weak he refused to finish it. The Iranian regime thought they could stall and wear America down. Well, they were wrong. Trump made it clear there is zero pressure on him, and victory is the only outcome he will accept. So how much longer will the Ayatollahs keep pushing before they face the full consequences? That's the question. Now, this moment affects every American family paying higher energy prices because of global instability. It impacts communities worried about terrorist threats and nuclear proliferation. When Iran drags its feet and breaks deals, it keeps the entire region on edge, and Trump's refusal to accept weak terms protects our military from endless commitments and sends a message that America negotiates from strength again. The Iranian people themselves are crying out for change, but remain unarmed thanks to failed promises from the supposed allies. And by standing firm, the Trump administration squeezes the regime from both inside and outside. This is the path that prevents wider war and restores real deterrence. While tensions overseas rise, it's more important than ever to stay sharp and resilient right here at home. You've probably seen the clip, Joe Rogan sitting with Mel Gibson talking about people close to him who went through serious health struggles and then saw dramatic turnarounds. Rogan brings up red light-based therapies and how they impact the body at the cellular level. Gibson says it's straight this stuff works. See, that got my attention because in my own life I watched something very similar unfold. For a long time, my wife was dealing with constant discomfort and anxiety. It was one of those periods where the stress of watching world events weighed heavy on our household. And then we discovered red light therapy from Jonathan Otto at myredlight.com. The results were remarkable. Make sure when you go there, use NNN25 for 25% off individual items or NNN30 for 30% off bundles, and give your body the cellular support it needs during uncertain times like these. Now back to the breaking developments with Iran. See, beyond the deal collapse, Trump also highlighted a powerful internal signal inside Iran itself. The people are watching and ready to rise, but they have no weapons because outside support never arrived. That detail changes the entire picture. The regime is now squeezed from both directions while Trump holds firm with unmatched resolve. He posted this on Truth Social. I've just read the response from Iran's so-called representatives. I don't like it. Totally unacceptable. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. So he's dropping that alert and immediately lays out how the Iranian people are desperate to fight back but got left hanging by the Kurds. This is just a few hours ago in the Oval Office.
The level of ferocity for protests, the people are watching it. They want to go out on the streets. They have no weapons. They have no guns. We thought the Kurds were going to give us weapons, but the Kurds disappointed us. The Kurds take. They have a great reputation in Congress. Congress says, oh, they fight so hard. No, they fight hard when they get paid. So I'm very disappointed in the Kurds. But they were given, I said it wasn't going to work, by the way. I guess I have to say it. I disagreed with what they did. They gave it. I said, they'll never get there. And I was right. I like to be right. In this case, too bad. But we sent some guns with ammunition, and they were supposed to be delivered, but they kept it. I said they're going to keep it, but what do I know? I've only been doing this a short period of time. What do I know? Go ahead.
Wow. Weapons deliveries to the Kurds to be given to the Iranian people never arrived. So Trump isn't buying any of it from the so-called allies. Now he's calling out the Iranian leaders for being dishonorable deal breakers who flip on every agreement.
Look, I've had to deal with them 4 or 5 times. They change their mind. They're very dishonorable people. The leadership. Don't forget it's the 3rd level. The 1st level is gone. They were unreasonable. The 2nd level is more reasonable. The 3rd level, nobody wants to be president, They say, who wants to be president? There's nobody raises their hand, But they change their mind. I've had that in business many times. The mind changes, you call them. These people that you make a deal and then the next day they send you a document that takes 5 days to get there when it should have been there in 20 minutes. It's a pretty simple document. They will never have a nuclear weapon,
They will never have a nuclear weapon. President Trump holding the line. He says their words mean nothing. Torching their latest ceasefire proposal is total garbage on life support. Here's more on the ceasefire.
For the time being, the ceasefire remains in place?
It's unbelievably weak, I would say. I would call it the weakest right now. After reading that piece of garbage they sent us, I didn't even finish reading it. I said, I'm not going to waste my time reading it. I would say it's one of the weakest right now. It's on life support. They understand these are all medical people. Dr. Oz, life support is not a good thing. Do you agree?
Bad prognostic.
I would say the ceasefire is on massive life support, where the doctor walks in and says, sir, your loved one has approximately a 1% chance of living.
So it sounds like the ceasefire is about to be broken. Here's more, making clear there's zero pressure on him, driving straight towards complete and total victory.
It was just unacceptable. You know, a lot of people said, well, does he have a plan? Yeah, of course they do have the best plan ever. I mean, Iran has been defeated militarily, totally. They have a little left. They probably built up during this period of time. We'll knock that out in about a day. But I have a plan. You know, it is a very simple plan. I don't know why you don't say it like it is. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. They're very dangerous. They're very volatile. It's a terrible thing that's happened over there. They've killed 42,000 people in the last 2 months. 42,000. At least that's what we know of. 42,000 people. They killed numerous people over the last week. But they killed 42,000 people a month and a half ago. They were unarmed protesters, not at all violent protesters. And they started taking them out, shooting them. So we're not going to let them. That's the plan. You know, people say, what's the plan? The plan is very simple. The blockade, first of all, was a part of military genius, just like Venezuela was military genius. We have the greatest military in the world by far. And we're stocked up with great ammunition. We have much better stuff than we did 2 months ago when we first did the attack, which knocked them for a loop. But very simple. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. You can't have it. And if they did have it, the Middle East would be gone, Israel would be gone, and they'd hit Europe probably next. We're doing a service to the world. And this has gone on for 47 years. Other presidents and leaders of other countries that have the power should have done it, but they didn't do it. But it's a very simple plan. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon, and they won't have a nuclear weapon, and they didn't want to go that far. If you can believe it, they didn't. How stupid. Are they stupid people? They didn't want to believe it. They think that, well, I'll get tired of this, or I'll get bored, or I'll have some pressure, but there's no pressure. There's no pressure at all. We're going to have a complete victory. We've already, in theory, had a complete victory from the military standpoint. The military, look, their Navy is dead. They had 159 ships. Right now they have 0, other than the little speedboats that go around that got taken out 8 a day by us. They have no Air Force. They have no anti-aircraft. Now, they probably put the shoulder jobs into service over the last 3 weeks, probably. But essentially, they have no anti-aircraft. They have no radar. And frankly, their leaders have been killed at the first level, second level, and half at the third level. And then they come back and they want to negotiate, and they give us it's a stupid proposal. And nobody would take it, although Obama would have taken it, Biden would have taken it. What they took was far worse. So we stopped them twice. We stopped them when I terminated the worst deal probably ever made in the history of our country in terms of defense. That was the Iran nuclear deal penned by Barack Hussein Obama. That would have given Iran a nuclear weapon within a year. They would have had it years ago. I terminated that in my first term. And then when that beautiful plane right there hit them hard, we really hit them hard. And they told me, I want to just tell you this because they like to say, oh, well, maybe it wasn't that hard a hit. Iran told me very strongly, because they intend to give us the nuclear dust, as I call it. It's easier than talking about other terms because it's a term everyone knows. But the nuclear dust, which is what we hit, they told me, number one, you're getting it, but you're going to have to take it out because the site was so obliterated that there's only 1 or 2 countries in the world that could get it. It's so deep and got hit so hard that there's no way they have the equipment to move it. You and China are the only two countries in the world that could take it out. So we talked about it, and they said, you'll have to take it out because we don't have the capability of doing it.
Wow. Wow, that's wild. So this is the moment, folks. The establishment media refuses to admit Iran's been defeated militarily and economically. Trump laying out the simple plan that Iran will never obtain a nuclear weapon and he will not be played for time. The leadership changes its mind at every turn and sends worthless documents. There's no pressure on America whatsoever. Complete victory is coming and the Ayatollahs know it. See, President Trump's keeping his promise to put America first and deliver the strength our adversaries respect. This rejection of a weak deal shows the world that we negotiate from power and not desperation. So share this report with everybody you know who wants real leadership, and drop a comment answering this question: does Trump have the right approach with Iran? And if you haven't done so yet, join the hundreds and hundreds of patriots who already have text raw feed to 844-840-4963. They're already bypassing the algorithm. They're getting the direct update straight to their phone from me when it matters most. Make sure you check out the Next News merch shelf below this video and gear up for the fight ahead. America is winning again.
The system controls information. Information control is power.
They don't want you to see this.
The truth only survives together. They don't want this. Share this now.